Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Georgiman and I'm your friendly neighborhood anime and manga fan. I love all things anime, all things manga, and I'm here today to talk about Chainsaw Man chapter 199. So, what do you think about this week's chapter? To be honest with you guys, I thought this week's chapter was really good. I thought it was great, and the main reason is because we get to see more of the Death Devil's motive and what she's all about and why she wants to pretty much take down humanity as a whole, as well as pretty much we get some resolution between the Famine Devil and the fake Chainsaw Man regarding how they got taken out last chapter. We get to see some, dialogue between them and the Death Devil trying to explain themselves, which I thought it was really good, especially towards the end where we leave off with a big cliffhanger that will most likely shake the entire story going forward. Now, before I go any further with this week's chapter, I just want to give you guys a quick reminder to make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you guys can be up to date with all my Chainsaw Man as well as all my anime and manga content that I'll be providing in this channel. It really helps out a lot, and I would really appreciate it if you guys could subscribe to my YouTube channel. So if you guys could, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Now, with all that out of the way, let's get into this week's chapter. So this week's chapter starts out right where we left off with pretty much the Famine Devil and the fake Chainsaw Man are during the play. They pretty much got taken down. And we have this funny little line of the Falling Devil's like, oh my god, they're checking your panties out. When she revealed herself. And pretty much what the Death Devil tells both the Famine Devil and the Chainsaw Man Devil is like, because the Chainsaw Man is like, why aren't you just, can you just like not destroy humanity? Like, isn't that what you're, like, can you just do that? And what the Death Devil pretty much explains, like, listen, even if you do kill me, like, maybe the next Death Devil is not gonna, like, enjoy humanity as much as I do. And, like, that'd be even worse. So, like, and then the Chainsaw Man Devil's like, why don't you, well, like, can't you just, like, not destroy humanity? And this is where pretty much the Death Devil's like, listen, here's the thing. The prophecy is bound to happen. There's no buts about it. It's gonna happen. And in this prophecy, it says that my powers will awake. Because apparently, at some point, until then, apparently in that day, humanity's fear of death will increase such drastically that she will awaken her powers. And even if she's sound asleep, she'll wake up and, her purpose will be to pretty much destroy humanity, it seems like. So we already know there's a race against time right now to pretty much prevent the prophecy from happening, but it seems like at this point it's something that's going to be pretty much unstoppable. At least that's what the Death Devil saying. And pretty much what they proceed to see, the Famine Devil proceeds to tell the Death Devil is like, but like, listen, why don't you just like get eaten by the Chainsaw Man? Like, wouldn't that just like erase the concept of death, and like therefore you would be like cease to exist and everybody will be happy, humanity will be happy. And this is where, we have a little line where pretty much the Death Devil is like, that's, like, and then it gets quiet. She's like, you know what? I could use you guys. Like, you guys could be useful for me. Like, and this is where the Famine Devil's like, cool. Like, yeah, we'll work out for you. Like, just, don't eat us. And this is where the Death Devil proceeds to just be like, oh, no, like, I'm gonna eat you guys. Like, don't get it twisted. And you see her with her fork and like, her fork and her knife, and she pretty much does what she says she's gonna do. And this is very uncomfortable panels where we see that pretty much she, gets the fork and the knife and she proceeds to start eating them, it seems like. And the paddling was really good in Fujimoto's part, where it made it very uncomfortable, where we see pretty much the Famine Devil's reaction as she's being pretty much eaten to death, and she's just screaming, she's like, ah. And very sadistic stuff by Fujimoto, like definitely very twisted stuff. And we pretty much see as she eats them, like the Falling Devil's like, was that delicious? Like, delicious? It was not. And the purpose of why she ate them apparently is because that's how her power, like, of she has to eat the devils, or at least that's where my understanding on the scene is, where she pretty much eats the devils that she, like, both the fake Chainsaw Man and the Famine Devil, and she proceeds to like put her hand on her throat and like proceeds to like spit them out. And we see they're like little statues, like little miniature figurines kind of thing, similar to when she ate the Fallen Devil. Remember, guys, where like she digested it and like has it as like a little pawn. That's what happens between, you see Famine and the fake Chainsaw Man. And as all that is happening, we see that pretty much she said, like, the Fallen Devil's like, you have to really eat them. It's like, listen, I have to eat them like that while they're alive because, the meat is fresh. And you're like, whoa. All right, man. Somebody doesn't like their steak well cooked. That's all I'll say. But in seriousness, we see that pretty much as she eats them, she proceeds to just say, come forward, fake Chainsaw Man and the Famine Devil. and they both like spawn in. And at this point in the story, I was like, oh no, like this is bad. Like if she has them as her pawns, you know, she can just do whatever. You know, they're both at her will right now. You know, they're just gonna be marionettes. You know, they're gonna be puppets that she can easily control. But it seems like that is not the case, at least initially, because what happens is as soon as she summons them, you know, we see that the Death Devil's like trying to say something to them, and surprisingly, the Famine Devil just sucks. You know, she just rocks at the Death Devil. You know, she gets her, like, she just punches her, and she's like, salvation. And then this is where we see like the Famine Devil's like, you ate us, and the Chainsaw Man is like, wait, you ate us? Like, and this was crazy because I wasn't expecting them to like be self-aware. I thought it was just gonna be like, oh, you know, they get like, you know, they're mindless zombies. And apparently not, at least initially, because we see, like I said, the Famine Devil like punch the Death Devil even after being summoned by her. And this was funny, you know, because we see that the Fallen Devil, like, she is not playing around. She was about to just kill the Famine Devil for even attacking her mistress. And what happens is actually something interesting, where we see that, you know, the Death Devil is like, no, it's okay, let her go, let her go. As she's covering her face, because she just got punched, obviously. And she's like, it's okay, just let her go. Listen, you guys, I'm giving you guys an order. And that's where we were like, yes, ma'am. And like, they both kind of like, you know, put themselves like, you know, they give her both of them give their full attention to her. And we see that pretty much she's just like, listen, my orders is this, and follow them thoroughly. I command you guys to bring humanity to an absolute abyss and terror, like just pretty much cause chaos. And they both like, yes, ma'am, we'll do it. And that's how pretty much the chapter ends. So it pretty much it did clarify some stuff, where we see pretty much apparently she has to, it's not like where she eats somebody and then spits them out and summons them, that she has 100% control over them. Apparently she has to like be like, no, you're 100% obedient to me, and like she has to like pretty much give them orders in that response, because otherwise I guess she just revives them like that. Which also brings in the question, could she hypothetically do that to a dead corpse? Could she eat a dead corpse and then summon it out by pretty much some like the similar way? Because then this opens the can of worms. Like, okay, could she hypothetically, you know, bring back Nagita said way? You know, could she like eat her and then spit her out? But at the same time, I don't believe so, because at least in my interpretation, isn't it that, you know, when a devil dies, they get summoned back in hell? So the Death Devil is already dead, if that makes any sense. Like the concept of that the control devil. I could be wrong, but I do, you know, I do find it very interesting that she is 100% down for this plan. However, there was that one moment of silence where she's like, with the Famine Devil was saying like, what if you just get eaten by the Chainsaw Man? Wouldn't all of this stop? And she's like, that's and it gets quiet. So I'm wondering, what's the real end goal here? Does she want to be stopped? Does she just want Does she want humanity to be destroyed, or does she actually want to secretly be eaten by the Chainsaw Man? Which, in my opinion, would be a terrible outcome, because you guys got to think about it. If the Death Devil ceases to exist, then death itself would, you know, not happen. You know, everybody would be immortal. And what's life without death? You know, in that regard, yeah, you could hypothetically be immortal, and you know, you never have to be afraid of death, but at the same time you would just live in endless suffering, which is what I'm wondering if Yoru's plan is, that, you know, eliminating the Death Devil, so therefore there's an eternal war, like nobody will ever, you know, eternal pain, eternal war, because we do know that, you know, Yoru's plan apparently is very crazy, and it was so crazy that it shook Asa, and she was like, you have to not listen to Yoru, you have to stop her. So a lot of crazy stuff to be developed, and a lot of crazy stuff that I'm looking forward to in the future. Next chapter is chapter 200, so I'm expecting something really cool to, you know, celebrate that big moment in the story. But with all that being said, what did you guys think about this week's chapter? Did you guys love it? Did you guys hate it? Did you guys thought it was alright? Whatever you guys thought, leave it in the comment section down below. Also, thank you so much for sticking all the way to the end of the video. I really appreciate it. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to my YouTube channel for more Chainsaw Man, as well as more anime and manga content in the near future. But yeah, with all that being said, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Bye bye.